And now, a thought from man. I was very reluctant to watch Atomic Puppet. Just everything screamed, this is gonna be a terrible show. I mean, it's from Canada, it's clearly a placeholder for Disney XD, and it just came off as this is just not gonna be a fun show to watch. But as I watched through it, I realized it's actually kinda good. I'm surprised. I really was expecting this to be on the levels of, say, like, Almost Naked Animals. Just something so goddamn stupid, and clearly shouldn't have been an idea in any sane person's mind. But after watching it, it grew on me. It really grew on me.
Victory pose!
The main premise is about a superhero named Captain Atomic who gets turned into a puppet, and the only way for him to use his powers is if someone wears him, like the puppet he is. And he ends up finding a young boy named Joey to be his puppeteer, and together they form the new superhero Atomic Puppet. For the most part, that sounds crazy, wacky, and something just out there, but it actually kind of works with what they do here. The characters are pretty interesting, and they play off each other very well. So I'm surprised it works. You would think this is gonna crash and burn. That sounds fucking stupid. But they managed to make it work by making sure the characters are what come first. It's a silly concept, but the characters are what sell it and keep it going. And I really give them that. I do.
Dude!
One thing I was really surprised about this series was the animation. It is actually really good. And that's just weird, because usually when something comes from Canada, it looks like some pure grade bullshit. I mean, seriously, it's usually choppy, it's usually obvious that it comes from Flash animation. Here, it still comes from Flash, but it's more stylized. It moves more fluently. And I'm surprised. I'm like, usually they cut corners, but no, they were like, we really want this to have its own style and look more unique. It's actually pretty reminiscent of an actual superhero comic book. And I'm like, that's going an extra mile, and I really like that. The art style is actually even reminiscent of the Loud House. And it's kind of no surprise, a guy who works on this show actually works in the art department for the Loud House. So it makes sense that there are some similarities. And I just really give it to that. Granted, the Loud House is more Sunday funny style, whereas with this, it's more superhero comic books. I kind of like that. I just kind of like that a bit. Just having that little homage with your art style. It's pretty nice.
No biggie.
The humor of the show is actually pretty tame, and it's kind of surprising because Canada usually doesn't know how to just be subtle. Most of the time, it's always extreme, like that dumbass, my butt went psycho crap, or Almost Naked Animals. It's like, really? That was just stupid. But here, they subdue themselves. They actually just let the humor run itself. It's not gross out, it's not extreme. It's just it's there. Sometimes they can be clever with it. Sometimes it can be a little dumb, but not so much you're like, okay, I gotta turn this crap off. It's more like, kind of a dumb joke, but gets a little bit of a giggle here and there. Sometimes they can be kind of clever, like a certain villain they have is a cat burglar. But instead of breaking into houses and stealing jewelry or anything like that, they actually steal cats. I'm like, okay, that was kind of clever. I've never seen anything like that. I've seen cat burglars whose theme is cats, but never a cat burglar that actually steals cats. I'm like, I'll give you that. That was pretty clever. Like, really. And that's just kind of the thing. You'll get some nice jokes here and there, and you'll get some that are just kind of, not the best. But it's not the worst. That's at least something, considering it's Canada.
Wait, you steal cats?
I call it kidnapping, and I only take the rare ones, not the run-of-the-mill uglies like that thing.
The characters AP/Atomic Puppet and Joey, they work very well off each other. They basically depend on each other to be able to do their job, but they're not straight up pushovers. Like, they can get jobs done when they need to. They don't have to rely solely on each other to get anything done. And they play off each other very well. You enjoy their dynamic. Whenever they're talking to each other, you just enjoy their conversations sometimes, or whatever situations they get into. And that's just kind of nice, basically. It's not special, but it's just something you can sit back and say, yeah, this is enjoyable. I can just sit here and watch these guys just do their thing.
But what if Evil got the chicken pox?
Evil wouldn't get the chicken pox.
How about Thumping Cough?
Evil doesn't thump, it gets thumped.
Pink eye? Tonsillitis? The screaming abdabs?
No, and I'm pretty sure that last one's not even real.
Oh, it's real. Look it up.
Ah!
I've been basically sleeping on this show. It came out last year, and for the most part, I was just really trying to dodge it. But now that I actually sat down and watched some of the episodes, it's actually kind of nice, and I'm surprised because, like I said, this is from Canada. They usually don't know how to make good cartoons. The one exception is Ed, Edd n Eddy, and even Total Drama Island. And even then, that's kind of cutting it close. This show is just a nice little thing you could sit back and just enjoy. It does have some of those typical superhero teen tropes. You know, he has to keep it a secret and not reveal it to like his family. He tells his friend Pauline the secret. She knows about it, but that's usually as far as he goes. And they even have the one trope of villain of the week, but it works. It's basically just a fun little superhero cartoon. That's all it is. It's harmless, and I really like that. That it's just a nice little thing you can enjoy. It may not have an overarching narrative, but you don't need that. Sometimes you can just have a nice little show that has one-off episodes a lot of the time. And I give it to them. It's just a very nice, enjoyable show. Coming straight from Canada, which is still a surprise. But that's just a thought.
We're gonna have no party, so you can rock this party.